Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. We are here every single morning on bettingpros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always see the offer right above me from BetMGM, the $20 to win $100 on any event by using that promo code JUICE100 when you sign up for a new account at BetMGM app or BetMGM.com. All good stuff there with those guys. And if you were with us yesterday, you had quite the profitable day. Yesterday was one of our better days in our 341-day history of the Daily Juice. Isn't that crazy? 341 consecutive days. Even from Lake Powell, we are here and giving away 3-0. Montreal, money line, plus 180. Bleep the Leafs, goodbye. Choke artists. Made back what we lost, basically, on those two bets with the Leafs. So that was nice to get a half unit plus 180 cash. That was gorgeous to start the day. The over for the Bruins. We're just going to do it. Okay, we're betting the over. Over 5. Automatic fire. When you see 5, we're betting over. It comes in cleanly and easily. That was gorgeous. And then the Utah Jazz continued to be just an ATM machine when it comes to their ATS numbers. Playoffs, regular season, doesn't matter. I bet that series to be over in 4. It's going to be over in 5, so just a little bit off on that. But Utah taking care of business with the Memphis Grizzlies. Good team, good season, but not like Utah. Very psyched. And all of a sudden, the Lakers are incredibly vulnerable. The Lakers might very well get knocked out by the Phoenix Suns. You want to talk about a huge game tonight? Phoenix and LA. Anthony Davis is probably not playing. Can LeBron do something magical? I don't know. More on that game coming up here in a little bit. But wow, that's a big game in the Phoenix Suns. As I said, I was watching Game 4. I was watching it in Phoenix, and it was like, oh my, here we go. Or Game 3, I can't remember. Game 4, yeah. I was like, oh my, are we really going to see, a loss here? And it was one of those situations where if you're a Lakers fan, you're going to go, injuries have been the bugaboo for us all year long. We haven't been able to stay healthy, and are we not going to be able to stay healthy here in the postseason? And does that bounce us from the playoffs? And it's really possible when you look at the series now 2-2 with Game 5 happening here in Phoenix. I mean, woo boy, that's going to be a heck of a game coming up here tonight. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so 3-0 yesterday. The plus 180 made us way up on that. No player props because I was on vacation, and boy, did I have a time. And I want to tell you guys a quick story just because I think it's important. And yesterday being Memorial Day, I think I wrote about this on Twitter, but I believe in karma. Okay, I do believe in what you put out into the universe does come back and help you. And if you're a good person and do good things for other people, that ultimately, eventually, things will happen for you and good things will happen for you. And so we're driving to Lake Powell on Sunday. And we're like 30 or 40 miles outside, but we pull over to get gas. And so my wife goes in to use the restroom. And so I pull the car after getting gas. I pull the car over, and I'm just kind of watching this woman. She pulls up an RV to an RV watering station, and she's trying to undo her RV water cap because you go and fill up the potable water into your RV. And she's by herself. She's older. She's probably in her 60s. And it's like 2 or 3 minutes going on now, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is really hard to watch. And so a woman, she's alone. She's trying to figure this out. It's hot outside. My wife finally comes to the car to watch our daughter, and I say, hey, I'm going to go help this woman out. So I go, and after like 10 minutes of like banging and pulling and finally getting this cap off, like she looks at me and she's like, gives me a hug and says, angels are everywhere. Thank you so much. And it really touched my heart, and it was really nice. It was really kind of that woman to say that, and it was just, it wasn't hard for me to do it. Just, took a couple minutes out of my day to help her, but she was really struggling, and it really made me feel good. So let's talk about yesterday. And so my wife decides, and this was not my idea, it was my wife's idea. My wife decides that we're going to go kayaking. My wife is not an outdoor person, okay? There's a song by the Lemonheads called Not the Outdoor Type, which basically has been like written about my wife, okay? My wife does not go outside. She does not go camping. She does not like bugs. She doesn't do kayaking. It's just not her thing. And so we go kayaking, and I'm like, okay, I'm game. I'm game for everything. Let's go. So my daughter spends the better part of 10 minutes, 15 minutes screaming, crying. She wanted no part of going in the kayak. She's like, you guys, we're going to flip this. She's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And my daughter ended up being right because after we wound up getting into this little area where it was a canyon, kind of a narrowing of where we were kayaking about, 3/4 of a mile down the river, down the lake, we flip. Whole thing flips over. And we flipped because this big boat, all this big choppy water, a big wake came through and knocked us all over. We all fell over. I have my phone in my pocket and my car key in my other hand. And my daughter is 6 years old, and she really can't swim. Okay, she can kind of swim, but she really can't swim fully yet. She's wearing a life preserver, thankfully. So we all, after a moment of like shock and panic, I'm like, "Is my daughter okay?" She's okay. I'm looking for my car keys. I've got my car keys. Where's my phone? I got my phone. Okay, but then a very nice couple of people from New York pull over, and they're like, "Do you need help?" And we're like, "Yes, we need help." So they stopped out of the goodness of their own heart. They stop. They put my wife and daughter in their boat, and they take my wife and daughter back the 3/4 of the mile back to the dock. I then go ahead and start to paddle myself, and I paddle, and you probably see my face and my hands, and so I'm paddling. It takes me like half an hour to get back, but I finally get back. I'm pretty tired after I get back. I get out of the boat, and I had my phone, and I had my car keys. I was making sure of it. So I get out of the boat, and all of a sudden, as we're packing everything up, I go, and where's my phone? I can't find my phone. I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me. Can't find my phone. I'm like, "This is awful." So I start to just do the typical, like, searching around, ripping through everything. It's gone. After about 15 minutes, I'm like, "Oh, my gosh, we missed the phone. The phone's gone." It was just horrible. So I'm all kind of bummed out, but I'm like, "Hey, look it, we just capsized this kayak, and these people helped us, and let's not end on a sour note. I'll get a new phone. It's just a thing. No big deal." So we walk back to our car. I'm driving away, and all of a sudden, this dude who had been working at the kayak place where we rented the kayak is in a car, and he just starts beeping and waving at me and rolls my window down and going, "Hey, hey, hey!" We're like, "What? What?" I'm rolling. "What's your phone look like?" I'm like, I explained to him, and he goes, "Is this your phone?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." We were about to drive back to Vegas, 4.5 hours, and I thought my phone was gone. There's no way. The guy wouldn't have been able to really, I guess they could have called us or something. But, I mean, just to have this guy, like, all of a sudden my phone pops up, I'm like, man, see, that's what happens, right? I mean, you help somebody on one day, and the next day we get helped by two different people. One time stopping and helping and picking up my wife and daughter, and the other picking, a guy goes and runs me down. You got to pocket it. Who knows? I mean, it's a iPhone 12. I mean, you could have done it whatever you wanted with that. I would have no idea because I left going, "Oh, the phone's gone. That's it. We're done." So it was a special day. It will be a very funny day. My daughter now has a very funny story. If you ask my daughter how was kayaking, she's going to tell you a funny story, and she's going to say it was ridiculous, and my parents flipped the kayak, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm tired, and it was quite the couple of days, and I mean, to end it on a 3-0 mark on Sunday was just perfect. I mean, just to come back, or a Monday. I keep on thinking today is Monday. Did I say Monday in the beginning? I don't know. It's a Tuesday morning, right? I'm sorry. I'm really tired, and I'm all over the place, but it is Tuesday. Yes, it is a Tuesday night, but it felt like Sunday to me, even though it was Monday for Memorial Day, but it is the Tuesday edition of the Daily Juice podcast. I don't know. I'm sorry if I said that wrong in the beginning. I can't remember, but we're rolling. So, okay, let's get to the picks here today. I'm back with 3. Player props will be going here tonight. Let's start in the NBA. 2 player props coming in the NBA. Let's start with the first game of the day, Boston and Brooklyn. Look, here's the thing. Both NBA plays today are much like the plays yesterday and the day before. I'm not going to overthink what's happening right now. I'm just going to expect things to continue, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? And this first play is so public, it's gross. I don't like being on this side. I guarantee you, we're talking 90% of the money and 90% of the bets will be on the over for Boston and Brooklyn. They've played 4 times. The under came in game 1. The overs come in by 9.5, 16.5, and 38 over the last 3 games. Boston has given up 126, 125 so far in the last 2 games. Boston scored hold on, let me correct. No, I'm reading that backwards. Brooklyn has scored 130, 119 and 141. Boston has scored 108 or 104, 108, 125, and 126 over the first 4 games of this series. Look, it's just one of those situations where there's a lot going on here. Okay, there's a lot of animosity here. Kyrie Irving stomps on the Boston Celtics logo, which any college football fan will tell you that sets off a near brawl, but there weren't any Celtic players really around to see it. A fan saw it and threw a water bottle at Kyrie. Not acceptable. He was arrested. Good. But Kyrie wanted it. Kyrie did this on purpose, and he wants to go and hang a big number here. I expect Boston to get absolutely shellacked here tonight. I'm talking 150 type of number here for Brooklyn. Boston cannot play defense against this team. You can't stop this three-headed monster, and I would expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 140, 150 points tonight for Brooklyn. Bet the over. The over 231.5 over Boston and Brooklyn. Public doesn't mean it won't hit. Boston and Brooklyn, we're going over 231.5 for this game coming up here tonight. Play 2, exact opposite. We're talking about the LA Lakers at the Phoenix Suns. It's the last game of the day. All right? Total is 207.5. 207.5, Lakers and the Suns. So far in this series, we have gone under, push, under. Game 1, under by 25 points. Game 2, a push at 211. Game 3, under by 7. Game 4, under by 18 points. The totals have been 214, 211, 211, and 210. This being 207.5. Okay, we're dropping down a little bit, but much like the Boston and Brooklyn series, dropping it down by a possession and a half. Okay, not a dramatic change, not a huge difference. Why with Anthony Davis on the sidelines? Why will this be a higher scoring game than what we have seen? And why are the books continuing to hang numbers that should be right around 200? All right, that's where these numbers should be. And that's where these numbers have gone. First game, 99-90. Second game, 109-102. Third game, 109-95. Fourth game, 100-92. Frankly, LeBron's got to play an incredible game tonight. And the Lakers are going to have to play a really slow tempo, even slower than normal, without Anthony Davis. I think this number will crash. I think this number will keep on coming down. But, again, I'm not going to overthink it. Much like with the Bruins and the over 5, this is the under here, 207.5. Betting half a unit on the under with the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, and we're just going to keep riding it. We have not been bucked off really yet, and we actually middled this once, so we've actually won more than 4 bets on this. We've won 5 bets, right? I think we're 4-1 on our 4 bets on this, 4-1 or something like that in this series with this bet. We're just going to do it again. Lakers in Phoenix, under 207.5. Not going to overthink it. Just going to come back here and jump on it. And finally, here for our third play of the night, Carolina and the Tampa Bay Lightning. 2-1 win for the Tampa Bay Lightning in game number 1. I will have a personal play on the under in this game, okay? But I got a home team that was very good at home this season. Lost by 1 in the first game. And I know there are some interesting trends here when it comes to what Carolina and Tampa have done and what Tampa's done in Game 2 of the postseason, in particular after what they win. They win in Game 1. They often bounce back and win Game 2. But Carolina's got to win this game. They can't go down. They can't go back to Tampa down 0-2. This is a huge game for Carolina. On the year, they were 23-4-3-2. On the road, Tampa very good, like we know, 18-11, 1-2 on the road. But this is a team here where I just think at home, Carolina is going to play their best game of the series, of the season. This is everything has to find a way here to come back. They got to ride this rocking crowd. They're expecting another full house. Coach Rob Brindamore has got to find a way to generate some offense, and he's got to find ways of frankly finishing. They had plenty of scoring opportunities against Vasilevsky in the first game. They just couldn't put the puck behind him. They've got to find a way to do that. They've got to consistently play the type of defense they played in game number 1. But I'm going to take, at minus 107, I'm going to take Carolina in the bounce-back spot here to even up this series at 1 game apiece. Boston and the Islanders, that goes to 1 game apiece. I think Tampa and the Carolina Hurricanes equally will go at 1 game apiece. This is a huge game for Carolina. Must-win situation for Carolina. I'm going to take the home team with their backs against the wall, with a rocking environment for the Hurricanes to even this series at 1 game apiece. We're doing that at minus 107 for a half a unit. Okay? So, again, to recap the plays here, 2 in the NBA, 1 in the NHL, 2 player props, so a big, heavy NBA night coming at you with the playoffs here today. Brooklyn, Boston, over 231.5. Lakers, Phoenix, under 207.5. And Carolina on the money line at minus 107 are our 3 plays on a Tuesday edition of the Daily Juice podcast. I want to remind you that we are doing the Discord channel bet for Wednesday because of what happened with the Memorial Day holiday. Monday really was Sunday, so Tuesday is Monday. So today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in, we will do our live stages conversation. You will live talk to me about bets you are going to recommend for the Discord bet, which is now 4 and 6. So come on, guys, let's find a bet here. We are underwater for our crowdsourcing wager, okay? It's not counting on my record anymore, but I am still betting it, and it's still my money we're playing with, all right? So let's not lose Matt's money. Let's find a winner here. Let's get somebody on board here who can find. I mean, even D Nizzy didn't get the pick right last week, okay? Even our hot NBA hand does not come through. So we got to find somebody who's going to step up and nominate a bet that people are going to like, because it's not just the bet that has to be liked, it's the voting on top of that. You get 3 options, and you guys got to pick the right one. All 3, I think, lost last week, by the way. I think we would have lost regardless of what we picked last week. So 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time in the Discord channel. Me, you, a live conversation on Discord for the live stages audio chat coming up here today for us at 7 p.m. Eastern Time while the games are going on and whatnot. I'll talk to you guys at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight for our bet on Wednesday that you guys will pick and vote upon on the Discord channel. Okay? My name is Matt Peralta. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on bettingpros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.